how to get the answer for our quiz number 1 that we had recently. Okay, first of all, I'm going to show you the diagram. Okay, from this diagram, we have 2 blocks and an enclosure with 2 springs, right? And then we have friction, 3 friction between each block and the enclosure. And the value for the masses or the blocks M1 and M2 is 2 kg, M3 is 3 kg, FV1, FV2 for the friction, FV3 equals to 1 Newton meter per second. For the spring, K1 is 2 Newton meter per second, K2 is 3 Newton meter per second. So based on inspection, we can see that, okay, if M1 is the main player, you see that M1 we have the spring, the friction, FV2 and FV3. Okay, so M1 is the mass, M1 S2 S squared, and then we have FV2 and FV3, and then we have the spring K2, K2 spring. So for the rest negative, so we have for mass number 2, the common between M1 and M2 is the FV2S, right? And the common item with the enclosure is FV3S. So for the second equation, the main player is the M2. Therefore, M2, we have M2S squared. Okay, and for M2, we have FV1 and FV2 and the spring. Therefore, FV1 plus FV2S plus K1, spring, spring K1. And the rest for X1, the common is only FV2. And the common between M2 and M3, the enclosure is only FV1 and K1. You can see here FV1 and K1, which is attached the M2 and M3. Okay, the next equation, the main player is M3, the enclosure. Therefore, we have M3 S squared plus M3, we have FV1 and FV3, okay, right? And K2 and K1. Therefore, we have FV1 plus FV3S plus K1 and K2 for X3. And the rest negative, right? For X1, common between M1 and M3 is FV3 and K2, right? And for X2 or M2, we have FV1 and K1. Okay, from these 3 equation, okay, we simplify it again by putting in all the values of the masses and the friction together with the spring strength. Therefore, we put in the values, so we got all these 3 equations. Okay, right, from these 3 equations, right, we expand it even further to get these 3 equations. Okay, number 1, number 2 and number 3. From these 3 equations, okay, we did the Laplace inverse Laplace transform, right, inverse Laplace transform, and then we get these 3 equations. Okay, straightforward, where S squared represent double dot, or S represents single dot for each X1, X2 and X3, right? Okay, so once you got this equation, we need to define our parameters. So our state equation, our state variable, state variable. Therefore, our state variable is Z1 equals to X1, Z2 equals to X1 dot, Z3 equals to X2, Z4 equals to X2 dot, Z5 equals to X3, and Z6 equals to X3 dot. Okay, we differentiate all of this, so Z1 dot becomes X1 dot, which is equals to Z2 here. Okay, Z2 dot equals to X1 double dot, Z3 dot equals X3 dot or X2 dot. Z3 equals to X2, so X2 dot, which is actually equals to Z4. Okay, X2 dot. Z4 dot becomes X2 double dot, okay, and Z5 dot equals X3 dot, which is equals to Z6 down here, and Z6 dot equals to X3 double dot. Okay, from this equation, right, then you can proceed. Let me just make it slightly bigger. Okay, so you have this. Okay, from this side, okay, concentrate on the first line equation first. Okay, we make the 2x double dot as the main player, and the rest goes to the other of the equation, or equal sign. All right, the other side of the equal sign. Therefore, we have x double dot equals to the rest. Okay, minus point x1 dot minus 3 over 2 x1 plus x2 dot over 2 plus x3 dot over 2. Okay, from this equation, we know that x1 dot is, okay, I'm going to move my picture. Okay, slightly, probably, I don't know, up here. Okay, let's move it. Alright, so we see here x1 double dot is here is actually equals to z2 dot. Therefore, x1 double dot equals to z2 dot. x1 dot equals to, find it here, is z2, so z2. x1 equals to z1, x2 dot equals to z4, x3 dot equals to z6. Okay, so convert this into z, and so on. The next equation, we make the double dot as our main player, and the others go to the other side of the equal sign. Okay, we got x double dot 2, or x2 double dot equals to x1 dot over 2 minus x2 dot minus x2 plus x3 dot over 2 plus x3. Okay, yang ni Okay, so tengok kat sini, x2 double dot, where is it? It's here, z4 dot, so becomes z4. Okay, x1 dot, where is it? Here, z2. Okay, x2 dot is z3, straightforward. x3 dot, where is it? Here is z6, so x3 is z5. Okay, straightforward. Right. Okay, so the last line of the equation up here. Alright, so you put it like what we did previously. Okay, the main player is 3x3 double dot. Okay, and the rest goes to the other side of the equal sign. So we have x3 double dot equals to, and the rest. So from here we need to convert. So x3 double dot is what? Z6. Oh, sorry. x3 double dot is z6 dot. Okay, x1 dot is z2, x2 dot is z4, x2 is z3, x3 dot is z6, x3 is z5. Okay, so you do this. Okay, all these three equations, the z equation number 1, z equation number 2, and z equation number 3, okay, we arrange it into our matrix. Okay, now we make z1, z2, z3, z4, z5, z6 all dotted as our x dot. Okay, and then ax. X dot equals to ax. So z1, z2, z3, z4, z5, z6 is our x lah basically. Okay, so let's look at, first of all, you need to settle the z1 dot, z3 dot, and z5 dot first, because this is the easiest. Okay, so z1 dot equals to z2, therefore z1, z2 equals to 1, the rest is 0 for the first line. Okay, z3 dot equals to z4, so at z3 dot, okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, number 4 is 1, so this one for z4, so the rest are 0. So z5 dot equals to z6, so z5 dot equals 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, where z6 equals to 1, the rest are 0. Okay, once you settle that, then you can settle using this equation. Now we concentrate on z2 dot. Z2 dot is the first one is minus z2, meaning z2 is minus 1, right, in front here. So minus 1, therefore for z2, 1, 2, 2 is, should be z2 dot is minus 1. Okay, z1 is minus 3 over 2 at z1. z4 is 1 over 2, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 1 over 2. z6 is 1 over 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 is 1 over 2, and so on. Okay, for z4, okay, for z4 dot is, z2 is 1 over 2, so z4 dot 0, 1 and 2, 1 over 2, minus z4 is minus 1 at z4, so z4 dot 1, 2, 3, 4, minus 1. z3 is minus 1, z3 1, this is Z4 dot 1, 2, 3 minus 1. Z6 is 1 over 2, so at Z4 dot 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 is 1 over 2. And Z5 equals to 1. Z4 dot equals to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 equals to 1. Okay, eventually the last one, Z6 dot is, okay, Z2 is 1 over 3, Z2. Z1 is 1 at 1. Z4 is 1 over 3, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 1 over 3. Z3 is 2 over 3, which is 1, 2, 3, 4, Z over 3. Okay, or sorry, 1 over 3, 2 over 3, Z6. Okay, and Z5 is actually minus 5 over 3 at 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, minus 5 over 3. So you got your AX plus, X dot equals to AX equation. Right, and then we want to find the output, right? Since our output from the question is X1, so X1 is basically from our equation that we define here, X1 is Z1, therefore we can have Y equals to, okay, this is Z1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, right? 1, right? So here is 1. So Z1, Z2, Z3, Z4, Z5, Z6. Okay, this is our equation. I think that's about it for today. Okay, I hope this can help you to answer your final exam ke, future question. Right, thank you very much.